Hi, friends. I don't normally do this, but I had a few extra minutes today, and I thought I might do a little bit of an analysis of a search that was published in BMC Public Health. And it is an article titled "The Global Distribution of Acute Unintentional Pesticide Poisoning, Estimations Based on a Systematic Review." And this came to my attention because it was profiled today in Retraction Watch as an article that may potentially be retracted. Now, the reasons for that retraction have nothing to do with the search, but I thought maybe it'd be worthwhile to take a quick look at their search and see if there are some issues that we can find. And sure enough, right away, if you take a look at this, you might see some questions that you might have regarding their search. So we'll start at the bottom with line 1. And you can see we've got a few text words: pesticide or pesticides, or crop protection chemicals, or agrochemical. So right away, I'm noticing two things. First of all, of course, they didn't use subject headings. So I'm going to show you what that means and take a look at PubMed. So when you search PubMed, you can always search by subject heading. So these are the controlled vocabulary that is used by the database. And if I go into this mesh database here, we can look at pesticides. And sure enough, they have a term for pesticides, which was not, again, included in the search. They searched as text word, and they describe it as chemicals used to destroy pests of any sort. And they give a little bit more detail. And if I scroll down, I can also see that besides pesticides, there are some very specific terms that are types of pesticides. So acaricides, chemicosterilants, etc. So because they did not search subject headings and they didn't explode subject headings terms, they're not going to have any of these narrower terms in here unless they specifically search the text words for these terms as well. And we can see some of these might be pretty significant. For example, the insecticides here. And I'm just going to again go to that. Pesticides designed to control insects that are harmful to man. And again, we can see a definition here. One of the things I wanted you also to see with this example is you'll notice under insecticides, there's nothing narrower. There's no narrower terms. If I go, however, and search Medline via Ovid and type in insecticides, we can see there, by clicking on the term, there are actually some drug terms that they've included as different types of insecticides. So we've got at the top here, we've got aldicarb, and we've got quite a few different chemical names down to trichlorophon or trichlorphon as potential insecticides. And some of these might be used quite extensively in humans in cases of accidental poisoning. I noticed, for example, ivermectin is an example of one. So by not searching the subject headings, they're missing many of those different narrower terms here. Another thing I noticed in line 1 is that they have not used truncation. So while they have pesticide or pesticides for the single and plural, they don't have pesticidal with an AL at the end as a potential alternate word. They've also missed the truncation on crop protection chemicals. They have the plural, but not the singular. The same goes for their second line, where they've got added insecticides, fungicides, herbicides, rodenticides. So they've added a few of those narrower terms. Again, also only searching though as text words. So any of the specific chemicals or any times where those words may not be used would not be found. So they've ordered those two together, and then they've added poison or health effects. Same kind of idea. Again, by not using subject headings, we are missing anything that is not described as a health effect or uses a different term. Vomiting, for example, is a common side effect of poisoning. We don't have anything related to vomiting here. And so you're going to want to use subject headings and keywords that relate to the specific health effects you might be looking for. Next, they've added in line 5 a bunch of words that don't seem to really go together. So survey, register, incidence or prevalence, mortality, or morbidity. I'm not sure why those terms have all been ordered together. It doesn't seem to be clear to me how those terms necessarily relate. So I can't really comment on why they're here. Again, we don't see any subject headings. We do see they've managed to truncate incident. So they are aware that truncation exists, but why they used it here and not elsewhere, it's not entirely clear. Line 6 has dates included from 2000 to 2018, and it's also not clear why those dates were chosen. The article was published in 2021, so why they would not look at anything published after 2018, I don't know, and why 2000. Obviously, insecticides and pesticides have been used by persons for centuries, so concerns about poisoning would predate the year 2000, and I don't know of any particular change that happened in that year that would make it a particular new concern starting at that time. It seems like it was maybe just added. They added the dates because they didn't want to look at too much literature and it was going to be a lot of work. So we'll just add in some dates here. And the last line, line 7, they've limited to humans. And I think that probably does make sense. As a reviewer, I tend to usually not out animals as opposed to limit to humans. So that way I can also get articles that have yet to have the check tags added. But in this particular example, I don't think it would make a significant difference. It's just, to me, shows a demonstration that they might not understand what that check tag is actually doing. So that's a little bit of a discussion about this particular search. As I said, they also searched other databases, but didn't include the search strategies. So I don't know what they did there. But it does suggest to me, at least from the PubMed search, that this article probably shouldn't have been published in the first place. It is not really strong enough to justify making any conclusions based on this particular search. And there'd be a lot of articles that potentially could be missing from this publication if they're doing a true systematic review. Of course, you can avoid this by involving information specialists right from the beginning of your review. If you don't have an information specialist on board, that's where you need to advocate for your organization to have one. And oftentimes faculty don't realize that they have the power to help make those changes and should be speaking up if this is the type of research that they consider valuable. And also editors can help avoid this by using information specialists as reviewers. This certainly, if I had seen this as a reviewer, I would have suggested that this article should not be published without having even looked at the rest of it. I could say, you know, no, this is just not a strong enough search for that. It's important that systematic reviews have credibility, and that's only going to happen when we can minimize. Of course, we can't entirely minimize bias as much as possible from our searches. Thanks very much. Have a great day.